This is the DrakenGameWerks, and we are back here on the Skycarrier, which, if we go around here, we can see that there's been still quite a bit of work that's starting to go on here. We'll talk about that in a minute, but obviously the last couple of episodes we've been doing a lot of hunting down of this dock block and making some good progress in that, and I thought it was about time we had an episode where we were doing other things, looking at other things that were going on in the world of Unorthoblocks and what we've been doing around this place as well. So I got hit with something quite, well, I've been dreading this since the game first begun. Yeah, the egg is in somewhere in one of my builds. Somewhere. Now, normally, you may not be aware, but on the game we have this, on the server we have this game going where we have a dragon egg, which is being hidden in people's bases. When they find it, then you've got to go and hide it in someone else's base. And normally we don't tell the people that it's in their base, but at least Sunbear told us because, well, we have a problem. And this is why I've been dreading the egg coming to me. And that is because, well, I've built a lot. And I mean an awful lot. We've got Spire Surplus, Spire Solicitors, we have the Aspire Tower, we have Project Hades, and of course we now have as well the Spire Skycarrier as well, which is our biggest main base build here. And these aren't small builds, these are big builds. So you can imagine that an egg could be anywhere in these things, and I have been looking for the last several weeks trying to find this egg, and I cannot find it anywhere. What I have done though is I spoke to Sunbear a little while ago in one of our meetings, and he did tell us that the egg is, well, it's on the Skycarrier. So that's narrowed it down a little bit, but I still can't find it. And as we go around this today and I show you why this is such a big problem, especially now with the Skycarrier, because of the amount of work that's gone on with this place, why this has become such a big problem. If you spot the egg while I'm wandering around, please let me know down in the comments below, because I am trying to find this egg and I can't find it anywhere. Now, he did give me one hint to say Iron Man, which, well, I mean, I guess that sort of helps. If we go sort of down into here, I mean, there's a couple of places where I thought, oh, it does help if I put my elytra on before I jump off ledges. That does help. Let's have a bit of food there to heal that up. But the first thing I thought was maybe, you know, if he's referring to Iron Man, then maybe he's referring to the Avengers movie, which has the helicarrier in it, and so sort of similar idea. So there is a scene with Iron Man where he is here on the bridge, and he's sort of taking the mick out of Nick Fury with his eye patch and everything else, and he's sort of standing up here and he points out someone's playing a computer game down in the corner there. So I was wondering, well, maybe it's in the bridge here. And here's the other problem you can see here, is that I use very dark lighting, because obviously we're taking advantage of the new mechanics that came out in the last update to have these wonderful sort of darker lit corners, but that doesn't make it very easy for me to find the egg in these corners. But there's nothing in this area that I can see, and I can't see anything in the water, not that you can see much in the water that's around the bottom here. So that made me think, well, what else is there with the Iron Man? So I mean, we sort of look around the bridge here, can't see anything. What about if it's back here in the meeting room? I mean, technically we've got a separate sort of superhero meeting room to where it was on the helicarrier. The helicarrier was actually at the back of the bridge, but nonetheless, this is where they have that big meeting, and Nick Fury does his whole speech to Iron Man and Captain America about, you know, there was this dream, you know, sort of thing. And no, nothing to do with Iron Man here. And so I was sort of thinking, well, what else did Iron Man get up to in that movie? Where else did he go and sort of visit? And that made me sort of think of two places he might have been. One, he spent a lot of time in his lab. And the other is that he went and fixed the big engine that sort of got blown up by. I'm sorry if this is spoilers. If you have not seen Avengers yet, there's Avengers Assemble. Then it's been out for a number of years. You should have seen it already, so you're probably not interested in watching it if that is the case. But yeah, it was this engine, which you can see we've actually. This is one of the things we've updated. We've actually put the propellers in. I've been dreading putting the propellers on this before for a long time because I was really worried about getting the shape right. But I think we got the shape really good for the propellers now. And particularly we're trying to get the shape so it matches going across both in the vertical and the diagonal when we put them on here. So we now have the propellers in place. So it really does actually help sell the idea of this Skycarrier being sort of held aloft by these giant engines on the side here. It's no longer being magically held up by some sort of, I don't know, you get these sort of vacuum tube things, like you get these circular fans and stuff like that, which could possibly do it, which don't have any the bladeless fans, and it kind of looked a bit like that, but I wanted to actually get the propellers in there, so we do have propellers now put in there and installed. So I mean, it was this engine on the helicarrier, it was the back sort of left engine on this side was the one which you had to go and switch back on again. Nope, it's not there. And could it have been one of the other engines? Well, maybe, but I can't see it anywhere around here. And if we go around to the other side over here, yeah, I can't see it on this side either. Sort of coming over, I can't see any sign of the egg here. And I can't see any sign of the egg here. So I'm at a little bit of a loss. It could be in the lab, which I'll show you the lab in a second, but I haven't seen it in the lab either. But yeah, I can't find this egg anywhere. And to make it worse, I mean, obviously you've seen over the last several episodes the various work I've done around here, but I've done a lot more work on this place. We now have an awful lot of the interior done. There's still a lot of interior to be done, but we've got through a large amount of it. So if we come into here, we now have the control tower for the top bit here. So that we've got the proper bridges down below for controlling the ship, but this one is mainly the control tower for sort of coordinating all the fighters taking off and landing from these sort of things. And we've got this wonderful view up here where we can see the sort of propellers on some of the sides down here and look over all of the runways that sit there. And this one sort of goes all the way around the back here, so we've got this sort of open space coming around to the back here. And we got some of these, sort of, you can see there's a lot of item frames up around here that haven't got things on. That's because I've been working on something in the map art district, which I will show you some details on the next level about that. Because if we go down a level from this control room, we have a little sensor room at the bottom here, and I've put some of them up there. I'm designing computer screens using map art that are going to sit in on all of these, and there's going to be different types. I got this sort of our version of Windows which we're calling portals, linking it in with Minecraft as well, but also with the Windows theme. But we sort of kind of come up with this sort of SpiderDOS, SDOS prompts that you can see on the screen here. And of course we've got the B-sod over here, the blue screen of death. Portals has crashed, out of cheese error on this one here. But yeah, this is our little sensor room in here where you'd have probably your person, whoever's in charge, will sit in the center here. Have you ever seen like there's like command centers on modern naval warships? The captain doesn't always necessarily sit up on the bridge. He might sit in a control room down below with all the radar operators and weapon operators that they aren't, and you know, the bridge is just used for steering the ship. The captain sometimes would go up there, but he does spend an awful lot of time now in control rooms. That's how the Navy and the way it's all sort of changed in the functionality of it. We come down the stairs here, we've got a little bit of a back area here. And then if we come through back into this area here, we've got our first level coming down underneath the sensor room. And we've got in here, we've got like a little server room with a bunch of computer servers in here, because obviously we've got to have somewhere to store all the data. And then we come through to what we've got in here. We've got like a little tiny sort of chill out mess hall area. So there's a little sofa around the outside with a table. We've got a little kitchen area here. Used a banner to sort of represent the fridge here. A little sink in there, unit and everything else, so that people who are up on the bridge can come and chill out in there. We've got a quarters in here. So we've got nice, this is probably going to be like junior rate sort of style quarters, because we've got all the bunch of bunks in here, all nicely sort of stacked up on top of each other in that very sort of condensed way that happens on naval warships. And I love the way these corridors are built. They feel narrow, cramped, and very sort of confined in the way that they're built, which is very much like you would feel on a warship as well, because they just cram as much as they can into the place. But yes, this level has those three things on it. And then if we go down a level, come back to the stairwell over here, we go down another level. We got more in the level below here, so we've got like a little bit of a clerical office here with some desks and chairs and some bookcases and stuff here and filing cabinets. And we come out and around here. What else we got on this level? I can't remember what's on each level. Yeah, there's another quarters in here. And I think we got then the officers' quarters down here. So these are for sort of some of the more senior ranking members. They'll have their own little desk, and this one's got sofa in the corner there, but then he's got his bed here, he's got his wardrobe there as well. And then he's got like a bathroom here, his own personal little bathroom here, which the junior rate quarters don't have their own personal bathrooms. And we've got another 2 quarters like that as well down here. So we've got one here in this corner. And there's your bathroom in there. He's only got a single bed, so he's probably not as high ranking as some of the others. They've got double beds, but there's another one here with a double bed in it as well. And his own personal bathroom in the corner there. But if we come back around, this is just one of the many levels that we've got here. If we go down another level, and this place has become a real maze. I mean, some of the guys have been talking about doing hide and seek down on inside the Skycarrier, and with the bits that we've added to it, it's going to make it really confusing to play hide and seek. But yeah, we've got a lot more quarters in here, so for even more of the crew to be hiding. Because bear in mind, something a ship this size, it's going to have a lot of crew, so it's going to have a lot of quarters. And like a lot of naval warships, we have this in here. We have a little chapel. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's the same with other navies, but I know the Royal Navy does it. They actually have a chapel on board. They're meant to be multi-faith. We won't go too much into religion on the video here, but they are meant to be multi-faith chapels, but they're normally heavily tied with the Anglican Church, I believe, in the Royal Navy, but they are meant to be multi-faith churches as spaces to go and spend time in reflection and prayer if you have crew members who are that way inclined, who have that sort of opinion. So we've got the chapel on board to provide for people of different faiths. And then we come around to here, we've got some more quarters in here, and another set of quarters down in this one here as well. And you can see it's all sort of stacked in and everything else. And then we've got like a bathroom here. So this is probably a communal bathroom. So we've got 2 showers in here, and then we've got some toilets in there behind the stalls. And a couple of sinks over here, and a couple of mirrors that we bought off Iondis up on the wall there. Ionco sells these wonderful mirror pattern banners and everything else, so we've been buying her out of all of those. And if we come down onto the next level, what we got on this level, this is a storeroom area. So we've got stores here up on shelves, so we've got like, it's like meant to be like a gun from one of the fighters that could be just sort of retrofitted in. It's just being stored in here. We've got some bookcases, some electronics, you know, there's a few little bits and pieces in here for use with the fighters. And in fact, I believe this whole deck is actually just dedicated to stores. So every little room that we have coming off here is a storeroom of some description. We've got some bigger storerooms on this side here, and another storeroom on this side. And it makes sense to have the storerooms on this level because this is also the level that comes out to the upper flight deck here. So we've got the upper runway that comes across through here where planes will be landing in and taking off from. And yeah, we've got access to the stores here, so they can actually just easily just take them straight out onto the deck if they're sort of having to do repairs on the deck itself. If we come down a level here, then we have another bathroom. This is slightly bigger, another communal bathroom, so a few more. We've got a few showers in the end there, a few more stalls for the toilets there. We've got a few sinks there as well. And then again, this one has a bunch of quarters in here as well, sort of junior rate quarters. But we've also got in here, we have a gym. I sort of found online a couple of these fantastic images of people who've done a gyms by using armor stands to represent the sort of bit that's holding up the weights there. And then we've got some yoga mats on the floor there, so they've got a bit of an area to come to work out if they want to, with the crew. We've got, I think, another quarters in here, and I believe this is more quarters down this end again. This one, because the roof's slightly lower here, because we're having to build everything in and around the rest of the functions of the Skycarrier. Only has double bunks rather than the triple bunks that we've seen in some of the other quarters. And if we come through to here, we have a mess hall. And this mess hall is a proper bar mess hall, so we have a bunch of tables here. We've got a pool table over here for people to relax and play on. We've got the bar over here with some barrels of ale on the back there, a couple of bottles of drink. We've got some pumps on the bar. And then we come over here, we're going to have a dartboard as well. And I'm going to try and build a dartboard down in the map district at some point and put that up there. But yeah, this is their little mess hall where they can come and sit down and relax and enjoy a drink with their fellow crew members when they're off duty. You've got to be able to provide to the needs of all the crew. And, you know, when people are off duty, they need things to be able to do. So you do need to be able to provide that on ships. And you'll find a lot of modern warships will have a number of small functions and stuff like that. Function areas for crew to go and relax in, so that they're not... They've got somewhere to sort of unwind from their heavy duties. This here is a food stores, so we've got food storage here. There's a lot of fridges in here for keeping refrigerated goods. We've got a load of cupboards. We've got a load of pumpkins and melons, because we have millions of pumpkins and melons, and everyone gets fed with pumpkins and melons. But if we come down to this side, then we have a kitchen. And this is the main galley that sort of serves the whole of the ship. So we've got like a big prep table in the middle there. We've got a bunch of ovens over here for cooking food up, a couple of sinks over here for washing up the dishes, and extra fridges and workspaces and stuff over here. And this sort of exits out from here. We can come out from the kitchen. There's also an exit into the corridors here into sort of the main sort of dining area. Separate to the sort of mess hall. This one is mainly meant for sort of eating and drinking and stuff, and so it's the sort of the proper galley area. But what I like about this area is that we come down this side and we've got even more seats down here, and I've given them a window view as well, so you can actually be up here in your seats and you can sort of look out the window and look out where you're flying past. You can see the engines just about, sort of see it from here. The engines down there out the window. If you're sitting in those seats, you'll probably be able to see them a lot more clearer. But it gives you a nice bit of view while you're having your lunch or your dinner and everything else while you're in here. But yeah, so that's this deck level here. And then if we go down, I believe it's this way. See, it's easy to get lost around here. And I can imagine a lot of people are going to be getting very, very lost around here. We come into this level and we've got entrance out into the hangar bay beneath that flight deck. This level hasn't been completely done yet. This is where we got up to from sort of doing that, but that does mean that big control tower we have, come into here. And the control tower used to be able to come in here and look all the way up to the top of the control tower. That's all been done out. It's all got its rooms and stuff set up. But this corridor will connect into a couple more rooms here, and it sort of comes out also here onto the lower flight deck here. Just beneath the upper flight deck there. So we've got the big tower there, and you can see all of those there. It's like 9 different floors there. And I have a bunch of skellies there. Look at that. They've managed to sneak their way in. I'm going to have to light that up. That's somewhere that I must have missed with the lighting. I do keep occasionally hearing monsters around here. So that explains it. They've been hiding in there. I'm going to have to deal with that and light that up at some point. But that's not the only interior we've been working on. So this bit, I started working up in this section, just filling this section out a bit. But if we go down the end of this corridor, we have a stairwell here on the left that sort of takes us all the way down, connects into another corridor at the bottom. But I've also got actually a water elevator and a water drop here that brings us to the bottom of the stairs, because it is quite a drop and people might be wanting to get from this area up to the control tower quite quickly. So we put one in here. And if we come along here, we may have seen this before previously, you can come down the corner here. This will access our back maintenance area. So here's our furnace array, and you can get from here into behind where all the item filters are that are coming off from the multi-farm. So we're still giving ourselves access if we need to do any maintenance. I've got a few little spaces here where we can build extra rooms and stuff. And this one, if we come all the way up to here, actually exits out into this room. And this is into our engine room with our storage room and the multi-farm and everything else that we've sort of built previously. And there is a couple of nice new additions down in this area. And actually, if we come out here, you'll see there's another door coming off here. And this goes up into this room. And that's because I decided to start selling potions. And yeah, potions I've been basically producing en masse to sell at Spire Surplus, and also because they're quite useful for a lot of things as well. And I've been doing all sorts of different varieties, but in order to do it in bulk, I have built and sort of designed this sort of item filter system here. Is one which I borrowed from Ilmango's designs for using an item, not an item filter, an item distributor. So it evenly distributes the items between all of the various hoppers and stuff. But essentially what happens here is that we can drop a bunch of bottles into here. It will spread them out amongst all of the alchemy stands in there, or the brewing stands in there, and then we can drop our ingredients in here 9 at a time, and we can do it in order. So we can drop, like, first of all your Neverworts, and then whatever it is they're going to be, whatever the variety of ingredients that you need are, and it will fill it into these and fill these up, and then it will then automatically brew up essentially 27 potions in one go. And the reason we go for 27 is because that's how many a shulker holds. So we're literally brewing a shulker's worth of potions at a time, which is really, really handy. And then it sort of spits them out into here when we pull this lever. So this lever then releases them, because you have to lock the hoppers underneath while they're in operation, while you're doing the brewing, because otherwise it will just drop straight through. So you lock the hoppers beneath and it'll do all the brewing, and then you can flick the lever and it empties the completed potions into this. These awkward potions are ones that I made by mistake when doing another type of potion, so I've got them there for the next time I need an awkward potion. But they're in there, and I've been keeping the ingredients for the various different types of things up in here. So we've got all the sort of different types of ingredients. There's a couple of ingredients we still need to get, things like turtle shell, phantom membranes, rabbit foots. So I've done most of the potions, but there's a couple, mainly the ones that use rabbit's foot and phantom membrane, that I haven't got access to as yet. But I am working on that. I also have a single sort of brewing stand here, just in case I need, like, just 1 or 2 potions and I don't need to do a full shulker. Then I've got that there, and I can just take the ingredients from there and just do a normal, using it in the normal way. And we have a book here. And this book is basically my guide to brewing potions, the Spire Guide to Potions. And it just literally just tells us, A, how to use all the machinery in this room, and what the ingredients are for each type of batch that we might be needing to do of the various different types of potions. So I know there are some out there where you can press the button and it just automatically does it for you, but they normally just use like one stand, whereas the idea of this one is it's like to do it in bulk with 27, so you really need to know what you're doing with those sort of things. Maybe next season I might go for an even more complicated potion brewer that will be able to brew up a shulker of potions, but it'll also have an automatic shulker loader and have a button that I can press and automatically load the ingredients, because that would be really cool. That would be a really cool challenge. I won't do it this season, but I might do it in a future season. But we also have this here, which is an automatic water bottle filler. So we can just place a bunch of water bottles in the corner here. We flick the lever, and then the water bottles get spat out into these chests below here. So we can just bring a bunch of empty glass bottles, stick them in there, and it produces the water bottles that we need for over there as well. So it's got that automatic facility that side as well. But connected to that, there is a bunch of things that we do need. One of which is, as I was saying, is rabbit's foot. So I have started up a little rabbit farm in here. Please bear with us, this room hasn't been completed yet, but we can see we are working on the rabbit farm in here. We've got loads of rabbits down here. These are the ones waiting to provide us with hopefully a rabbit foot every now and then. But these are breeding pairs here. Now they keep jumping up here sometimes and being a pain in the neck. So I've got to find some other way to sort of keep them down there while still being able to reach them. I know some people do it with water buckets and stuff like that. I'm trying to avoid doing that, but if I have to go down to that level, then I might have to redesign this ever so slightly, this area. But at the moment, I'm still just building up the number of rabbits we've got here, because I just need a load of lucky rabbit's foots and stuff. So this might change a little bit. And you can see it's behind the potion brewing area. We can see you've got these Il Mango filters just on the side there. But once these all sort of grow up, there's like a button there I can push, and it'll flow water down here, push all the rabbits to the end here. And yeah, I know it's a bit nasty, but then we can turn around and dispatch the rabbits and hopefully get some rabbit's foots for use with the leaping potions. But we also need netherworts. That's access to a turret in there actually, but no, we need netherworts. So we have a netherwort farm I've also built in here. So if we come up here, this is where all the netherwort will get spat out to. We have a button here that when we press it, floods this room up here with water, and it functions very much in a very simple way. We've got netherwort growing here, the water sprouts up, pushes all the netherworts off to the end there and drops it into the chest down below, and then we can go back up and replant the room once we've finished with all the water and turn the water off. And then if we go back this way, we may have shown this before previously. If you've seen Mighty Beard's video, this is the infirmary. So this is our sick bay basically, where he woke up after he came over to this version of Unorthoblocks, this world of Unorthoblocks. So that's that in there, and then this all exits out into this corridor here, which is right next to our nether portal here. So you can see it all connects in, and it sort of loops around to each other. Now if we come down to here, you may remember we've got another little side bit here, which is just above the bridge. So we've got the bridge down there where we started today's session off. But if we come down to here, I've already started putting some steps over here, but we've actually done a lot of work down the front here. So this area, sort of, these walkways existed before previously over the top of the bridge, but now these actually lead somewhere. We've actually expanded this area here. And if we go up to this area here, this is what I was talking about with Iron Man, with the lab. We have a little laboratory down the front here with another computer there stuck on DOS at the moment. We have the lab at the front here, but I still can't see any sign of the dragon egg. And this is the other area that Iron Man spent a lot of time in. And as you can probably see by the particles in there, I'm guessing that we're probably close to somewhere that's got spore blossoms, which if we come up into here, yeah, we've got a room full of spore blossoms and various other things. It's basically a little bit of a green space inside the ship itself, a little pond and everything else over here. It's a bit of an arboretum, basically, for scientific study up by the labs. But here we have the director's quarters at the front of the ship here. So we have like a bathroom here. And then we come into here, we've got the director's quarters here, which has got a fish tank. This fish tank has been built using the resources that Sunny gave us as part of our Secret Santa. And I'm going to put the fish in there. I just want to make sure I've got enough name tags and name them all up properly so that they're not going to despawn, because I've had some problems with fish despawning before, even though they've come out of a water bucket. So I want to make sure I name tag all the ones that I put in here. And I'm going to fill that up with fish and put a roof over the top of that. But we have a sort of desk here. And yes, you may spot there, that is a dragon's egg. That's not the dragon egg though. That's the dragon egg that I got when I went and killed the Ender Dragon for the first time with Loon. And every time we kill the dragon, there's a dragon egg that drops. So I'm keeping this dragon egg here in its own display case, but that's not the egg that we use for the whole game that we're playing. So it's not that one, but we are looking for something that's actually a proper version of that, because that's sort of stuck on an armor stand, so it's a bit smaller than it normally would be, a bit bigger. But we have the director's sort of bed here. It's got some crystals in the back there. It's got its own little chair here, mirror up on the wall, and we've got some fins there as well. But yeah, this is the director's sort of quarters over this side. If we go, and he's got his own bathroom as well. That's that little door off the side here. He's got his own bathroom. But if we come down these stairs and go through to the laboratory a second, and this sort of connects up. It's on both sides, this sort of front lab. I love the window at the front as well. It's that window that we have at the front of the ship sort of looks into there. But we come down this side, and before we get back to the walkway that goes beside the bridge on that side, we come in here, and we have a bit of a shower room, but no toilets. Why have we just got a shower room? Well, it's for people to shower when coming out of here. We have a full onboard swimming pool on board the ship. We can go swimming around and relaxing in the for the crew to relax and enjoy themselves. So we've got a full onboard swimming pool. We have a diving board as well. And over here we actually even have a hot tub as well, spa. So when the crew are relaxing, they can come down here and do a bit of exercise and relax and everything else in this area here. So we have our swimming pool here. And what I like about this swimming pool as well is if we come down to here, this bit isn't properly constructed, but you can see where we're going with it. We go down the stairs and we actually have windows into the swimming pool beneath here, which is something that reminds me of when I first learned to swim. I learned to swim at a place called HMS Collingwood, which is a Royal Engineering School for the Royal Navy. It's an engineering school for the Royal Navy. My family was from the Royal Navy, we're part of the Royal Navy, and I went to learn in the swimming pool on base, and they had the swimming pool at HMS Collingwood. It's a really big swimming pool, really deep end, because naturally you're training people in the Navy, so you need a decent swimming pool for that. But there were windows underneath the actual, just like that, in the swimming pool. That was sort of, so you could actually walk along and look into the swimming pool inside in the deep end, which is, I always thought was very cool, being able to sort of walk along and see the people swimming around and everything else in the swimming pool there. But you see our problem now. You see our predicament. Yes. How am I going to find an egg in this place? I mean, like, we just walked around and I haven't seen the egg anywhere. I still can't find the egg, and I may need to get more hints from Sunbear on this, because I don't think I'm ever going to find this egg. This place is so big. I mean, we've got also, on top of the bits that we have built up, and the new bits, we've also obviously got the old bits with the sort of the multi-farms and everything else. You know, one of my theories was maybe he had hidden it somewhere on the iron farm, though that would have been a bit more difficult for him to get to, and would be a bit difficult to sort of set up. But if we sort of come down here, let's have a look to see if we can sort of find a way up into the iron farm. It's not easy, and that's the other part of it. Not without killing ourselves, but there we are. We're in. So yeah, we've got the iron farm here. So maybe that was what he was referenced to, Iron Man here. But yeah, I can't see. I mean, the villagers are over there, sort of chatting away and everything else like that. I can't see any egg in this area inside the iron farm itself. So I didn't think he would have made his way into the mechanisms itself in the back area here. And these are areas I'm still going to need to provide some sort of access to from the corridors. And all these sort of open spaces we're flying through in the ship, that's all got to be filled up with quarters, like you've just seen what we built in the rest of the ship. So there's still a lot to be done, even though we have done a bit, but there is a lot to the ship, and I don't think I've got any hope whatsoever in actually finding this egg. And this clue, Iron Man, I mean, it's not in the locations where Iron Man spends time in Avengers. Maybe it's close to somewhere where there's a lot of iron, but like the only sort of place I can think of is stuff like this, where we've got like a load of iron trapdoors and stuff. I mean, if he's hidden it beneath one of these, I mean, we're never going to see it. So that's going to be a problem as well. Maybe I think some of the sort of sidewalks down here have iron on them as well. So maybe it's like situated on a sidewalk down here, I'm sort of thinking. But I've been all over this ship and I still haven't seen it anywhere. And I'm at a complete loss. So if you guys have any ideas, please let us know in the comments below. Your help will be greatly appreciated. But in the meantime, I'm going to leave you with a panoramic view of the Skycarrier and the work that we have done here and everything else, because I'm really proud of the work we've done here so far. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed seeing around the Skycarrier and a bit of a tour around the bits and pieces, don't forget to like and subscribe below. I would love to see you back here for the next videos, and we will see you all shortly. Thank you. Bye-bye.